Everybody, you are welcome. It's going to be a very powerful night. So welcome. Get yourself ready. If you have not got a notepad, get something, hold something, because I believe that it's going to be fantastic. Wherever you are, we want to introduce yourself. And there are three ways I want you to introduce yourself on that comment section. Tell us who you are, perhaps, probably where you are watching us from, where you are joining us from, what you have done in the past, what you see yourself doing. So three things. Aside telling us who you are, tell us who you are. And there are three ways I want you to define who you are. I want you to talk to us about what you presently do, what you have done in the past, and really what you really want to do in the future. Yes, so I want you to just get yourself ready. I will introduce myself and tell you what I've done, what I am doing, what I've done, and what I want to do in the future. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to inspire yourself. First of all, I want you to inspire yourself, and then we inspire others. Yes, so we are getting started. Welcome wherever you are. We want to know where you are joining us from. Those in the UK, those in the inner cities of the UK, let us know. Those from Africa, those in America, wherever you are joining us from, let us know. You see, when you go for an interview, or when you go anywhere and you are asked to introduce yourself, first of all, I want you to see yourself as a leader. Every one of us that sign up is a leader. Whether you have a business, you don't have a business, that is not why we are here. You are first a leader by yourself. We will talk more about that as we progress into that. We'll talk more about that. But first of all, I want you to see yourself as a leader. And as a leader, if you are asked to introduce yourself, this is a free one to somebody, whether you are at an interview or whether you are going for a job application interview, or anywhere you are asked to introduce yourself. In 2 minutes, you should be able to introduce yourself. And the way you should do it is by telling us who you are. By number one, what do you do? What have you done in the past? Number two, and what do you intend to do in the future? This is what defines you. This is what we normally want to hear from a person when he's defining himself. And so as we start, I can see many people that are coming on. Want to say thank you for joining. Praise Baines, I'm a seeker of the truth, and I intend to serve the Lord in a greater capacity, healing and bringing forth delivery to the captives in Jesus' name. Justina Abba texting, she says, I am Abba. There is more to you. This is what I want to say. There is more to every one of you on here, and I want you to define yourself. As we start, we are started because we are raising leaders, and I want to think with you on that level that we are really raising leaders. Isaiah is here. My name is Isaiah, on a journey of building legitimate enterprise. Isaiah, I think you can tell us a little bit about it. He's one of the young prospects that I have around, and he's a great guy. So Isaiah, there's more about you. There's somebody, you see, it's about relationship. Tonight, that's what we are going to be driving at. It's about relationship. You may connect with somebody, even though we are online, you may connect with somebody, and that can be your next level from here. So we want to know you. We want to know you wherever you are. We want to know you. Kwame Teria Gia. Hello, my name is Nana Kwame. Kwame, that is great, but we want to know who you are. And so, like I said, there are three things I want you to do. First, tell us who you are, where you are coming from, and where you are watching us and joining us from. Then tell us what you do presently, what you have done in the past, and what you want to do in the future. This is how leaders of tomorrow define themselves. This is how leaders of tomorrow define themselves. So yes, I got some great people coming up on the Kwame Teria. He says, my name is Kwame Dia from Ghana, West Africa. I'm currently a student at Robert Gordon University, UK, pursuing a degree in MSc Healthcare Leadership. Kwame, tell me, what have you done in the past? And what do you see yourself in the next 5 years? You are telling me what you are doing presently. Tell me what you have done in the past and what you intend to do in the future. If this is all that I do for the next 1 hour, I am inspiring somebody to really get out there. We don't normally think about this, but this is how you define yourself. Not only in a job interview, this is how you define yourself wherever you are. So as we keep going along and I see something exciting, I will stop and get people and read what we are seeing here for people to introduce themselves. I'm going to start with myself very, very quickly, but you are really, really welcome to our masterclass. One of my students got back to me and said, I think that on my website, you started in 2015 officially, and it's 2025. This is our 10th year anniversary as a coaching educational consultancy group. That's official. Unofficially, we started somewhere in 2011 where we started really doing what we're doing, and then in 2015 we made it official. I'm going to share a little bit about myself very, very quickly. My name is Kofi Amwatin. My full name is Chief Kofi Amwatin Owusu, but I don't want to bore you with that. Kofi Amwatin. When you see LEAP, it's simply a way that I've developed to define myself. And so I'm going to define myself to you. I'm a life coach. I'm an entrepreneur running several businesses around the UK. I'm an author of several books. You can see some of my books really at the back there, but we will share more about that. And you go on my website, you will find more about that. So I'm an author and I'm also a pastor. So this is who I am currently. In the last 10, 15 years, I have been channeling building people. That is what I've been doing. So I can recall from 2011 when I started writing books, and then I started doing a lot of seminars at that time. I did a lot of seminars and trained a lot of people. In the last 5 years or in the last 10, 15 years, I can't say that I've trained not less than 300 people to really start either a business, to go for what they want to go, to discover themselves, to find purpose, and all of that. That is what I've done in the past with what I've just told you, my present. In the next 5, 10 years, I want to come alongside 1,000 people minimum. I want to come 1,000 people minimum. So if I've done 250 to 300, I'm possibly looking at not less than 700 people around the world that I can come alongside and inspire them, help them to either find their purpose, help them to start a business or start something that is deep within them and scale whatever that they start and wherever that where they want to go, and push them to the next height. I do it in 4 different ways. 1 is personal development coaching, which I'll share much about. 2 is business entrepreneurship coaching, which I will share much about today. 3 is on leadership, which is why we are here tonight. And 4 is on book publishing. I'm beginning to do a lot of Christian book publishing myself, as I'm an author, and I know what authors go through. And a lot of people want to publish books, but the challenges to get your book published is a big one. And my assignment is revolving around this. So this is how I want you to define yourself. Who are you? Tell us what you are doing presently. Tell us what you have done in the last 5, 10 years. Those of you who can go back there, and then tell us where you want to be. You see, this is what I want us to begin to really begin to talk about. And to make it very easy and make it very simple, I have prepared a slide to really, really assist us in doing so. To really, really assist us in doing so. So, yeah, it's so that I can make it very easy. So some of you have to get yourself ready, prepare yourself, get yourself a pen, a paper, and get yourself somewhere. Don't just get a paper, get yourself a book. You have to be intentional. This is intentional leadership, and get ready. I love what Kezia is saying. Kezia says, I am a BNSC nurse by profession, worked with the presidency, State House Abuja Clinic, in the accident and emergency department in Nigeria, etc. Currently, a West Yorkshire police officer in view. This is the very powerful woman that we are seeing. Kezia, there's one more that is left. Tell us what do you see yourself in the next 10 years? So you have told us what you are doing, what you have done in the past. I want to know what you see yourself, because this is what leadership is. And if we are going to really, really reimagine leadership, if we are really, really going to reimagine leadership, then you have to be bang on. Somebody says, Christine says, I am in school. Yes, Christine, that is great. You are in school, but you can tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you see yourself doing in the next 10 years? I know that we have young people on there. We have We have professionals on there. We have some Christian leaders on there. We have way different kinds of people on there. I'm still waiting. I'm going to progress, but this is what it's all about. My topic today is leadership reimagined, as you can see on your screen, and with a subtopic defining impact in the 21st century and rethinking influence for the modern era. That is a very big topic. All that I'm trying to say is that we have to reimagine what leadership is, from self-leadership to corporate leadership to leadership even in the church. We have to reimagine it because everything have changed. There's a book that I've written. I hope I have it here. It is this book. I want every one of us to go get a book and read. Really, it is called The Relevant Church, especially the Christians and the pastors and the church leaders there. And the book has a subtitle, The Church of Christ Beyond Crisis. I've started been thinking about this since after COVID. And throughout COVID, when we were on lockdown around the world, I began to think about leadership in a different way. And exactly what post-COVID, this is what has happened, and this is what is happening. And so don't forget, keep introducing yourself like the way I taught you to do, because that's the best way to reimagine who you really are. You need to focus on yourself and really what can come out of you. So what do I mean by this? Very quickly, let me make it much more bigger. If you don't see my face, I will be somewhere down below. Don't be worried. I'm still here with you. And I hope that you can hear me. So let's go quickly into it because of time. I want to start with why. Why this topic? Why am I calling you at such a time like this? I know that we are very busy and we have things to do. I'm calling you because of very important reasons why we need to reimagine leadership. If you are looking at moving from yourself as a leader at home to becoming somebody that leads in institutions and in organizations, then you have to take what I'm sharing with you very serious. And for starters, like I said, I know that everybody here is a leader, from the child to the older person that is here. Leadership should be reimagined because of the shift that we have seen in the 21st century. Like I said in my introduction, post-pandemic, after COVID, things are not the same. Those of you who used to work in offices, today you work from home. So things are not the same. That is why we talk about digital economy. The economy and the way things are shifted is amazing. One of the business I run is a restaurant business. And we have shifted from the time where people used to come in and sit down and eat for hours and hours and hours. No, today people want to order from Uber more than they want to come in. Today people want to order from Amazon. That is why Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and they are making quite a lot of money because of the shifting or the shift that has come into leadership. And so if you don't shift because leadership has shifted, you are going to remain archaic, you are going to remain old, and that is not what we want. Samantha Morrison, he says, "Hi all, I am Samantha and I'm signing in from Cleckheaton. Wow. I have been an early years educator for the last 10 years. I'm also involved in our church choir at New Joy. That's one of our vibrant church members, as an assistant choir leader. For the next 5 years," now listen to this very carefully, and this is what I want every one of us who is coming on, every one of us who is watching and joining to do. You are defining your leadership. I want to be able to help you. I am looking for a change in career path where I can be more involved with shaping the community, especially the young people. And you see, somewhere like Samantha, I want to work with you. I want to work with you beyond this 1 hour, because we have to look at the future and to imagine the future and really get there. If you can imagine the future, you can get there. Please, you need to write this down. If I can imagine the future leading in any sphere, you will get there. So this is a person who I have told us about her present, her past, and I'm more interested in the future because she wants to get involved in shaping the community. We can tilt this and really see something very great for Samantha. So Samantha, thank you for what you have said. I'm looking forward to working with you on the greater aspect, so that in 5 years to come, you see yourself where you have to see yourself. But I'm coming back. Wherever you are, introduce yourself as I've done, as people are doing, and I will stop at every point and do that. The reason why we need to reimagine leadership in the 21st century is because of post-pandemic, and we're still expecting different pandemics to come. Digital economy, social change, a lot of things have changed. Like I said, gone are the days where you have to have a place of business before you can sell. Today you don't have that. You can sell online, you can sell everywhere. There are some restaurants that I've seen that they are not there in person, but they are there online. And so it's so many things. So first of all, as a leader, you have to understand this. There are four major areas leadership has shifted in the 21st century, and you can see it on your screen. I've made it very simple so you can easily make notes and you can easily get something and change something right now in your life and pick something up. Number one, there's a shift in influence. There's a shift in influence. We used to one of the things we used to see as leaders was leadership as a positional leadership. I wish I had time to teach you the 5 levels of leadership. I don't have that time. But again, like I said, as I work with you individually, I can't say everything here. But as I work with you individually, we will be able to talk about that. But one of the things that I'm sharing with you is that leadership has shifted in influence. Gone are the days where we used to say, yes, sir, master, because of the title that you carry. Today, it's not like that. Today, it's not like that. Leadership has shifted from titles and roles. Leadership have shifted to relational. And so when I say that leadership have shifted, that is one of the things that I mean. It is no more titles and positions. It is more about relationship that you build. It's more about trust. It's more about transparency. People will not follow you because of the position that you are. And so whether you are a leader in the church, we just had somebody who is a leader in the church, whether you are a leader in the church or you are a leader in the corporate world or you are a leader at home, your wife or your husband will not respect you because of your position and your titles. No, you will be respected because of relational or relationship. How can we trust you? How transparent you are? What is their level of integrity that you hold? These are the way that leadership is shifting. And so one of the pillars is that it has shifted in influence. Number two, it has shifted in what I call the 21st century challenge, which I define to you. Leadership has shifted in the 21st century challenge. In other words, leadership today has become ambiguous. In other words, today you call yourself this, but tomorrow, if you don't change, you will be left behind. That is what it is now. When I say ambiguity, it means that there's kind of confusion around what we do. Today, this is how you define yourself. You must be willing to change. As a leader in the church, you must be willing to change. As a leader in the corporate world, you must be willing to change. I know that some of us have businesses. The way you advertise have to change. The way you want to reach out to people have to change. People will not come to you, but rather you have to go to people. That is the ambiguity that we are talking about. There is what we call cultural diversity, digital spaces, as I've said. I don't know anyone that is a leader out there that is not online today. You have to be there. You have to be strong there. You can't say you don't like it. If you don't know how to do it, then you have to learn. And these are the 21st century challenge. Number three is the influence economy. The influence economy. Leaders now operate like influencers. In other words, people choose to follow you voluntarily. People will not follow you by force. As a pastor, people will not follow you by force. As a leader, people will not follow you by force. Even your wife will not follow you by force. Your husband will not follow you because he has to follow you. He'll follow you if you are able to tilt and solve something and change and bring something on board and bring something on the table. Number four, one of the pillars that the 21st century leader has shifted is in the area of purpose. Today, it is more of purpose more than profit, as you can see on your screen. Leadership is more than purpose, more than profit. It is not profit more than purpose. In the last 30, 40 years, people rose up to lead in an area where they think that they can make a lot of money. They can make a lot of money. Today, it's not like that. It is about where you feel that you can make a lot of impact. Is somebody getting me? Where you feel that you can make a lot of impact. All right? I have this introduction that I promise you I will stop and say it. Hi all, I am Irene, an insurance professional for the past 15 years. Wow. I'm also a church worker. In the next 5 years, now this is where I'm always interested. Fantastic. This in 2 minutes, define yourself. And this is what we look for to see whether you identify as a leader or not. I look forward to creating content to influencing people in the Christian and the insurance space. If anybody wants to go into insurance, this is the go-to person. You have to take her number. If you need her email, let me know. I will get her email for you. Irene is speaking from Ghana, I know. And those of you who are in the chat, this is Pastor Rhoda's best friend. If you want to go into the insurance profession, this is the woman to go to. You need every advice, this is the person to go to. In the next 5 years, he wants to influence people in the Christian space and the insurance space. I love that. So everyone, these are connections that we are building, and hopefully as I build up on it, you will begin to understand what I'm talking about. And so purpose more than profit. If you are profit driven, let me tell you today, from a business point of view, when the profit is not coming, you will fold up. 90% of businesses end up closing in the first 1 year. I kid you not. People are leading, but if people don't reimagine what leadership is, you will fold up in every sphere, whether an individual, whether a church, whether an organization. You have to understand something. You must be moved by purpose. You must be moved by impact more than profit. Where profit now, today, in today's leadership world, and in today's 21st century, profit now becomes the output of something that you get. It shouldn't be the main thing. Doesn't mean that it's not important, but how you get it is what matters, and that is what we are sharing. In a summary, if I'm to summarize these 4 pillars into one, leadership today is not about titles. It is about influence, it is about service, and it is about impact. And so if we are to reimagine leadership, this is what I'm going to be building up on. If we are to reimagine leadership, we have to reimagine leadership on the level of influence, on the level of service, on the level of impact. How can I influence people in a positive way, in a trustworthy way, with integrity? Is how can I serve people? Not how much money can I make from people. How can I serve people? Not how much money can I make from people. That is what we are talking about. And what impact am I leaving behind? This is what I'm looking at unpacking with you tonight. And I'm going to unpack it in 9 ways. But before I unpack it in 9 ways, let me show you 4 pillars of the 21st century modern leadership. If leadership have changed in the 21st century, I'm looking to lead. I'm looking to do some great things with my life. I'm looking to shape myself. I'm looking to shape my family. I'm looking to shape my marriage. I just got married. I want to shape my marriage. I want to enjoy my marriage, not endure my marriage. These 4 pillars must be there. Very quickly. Number 1, the first pillar is what I call authenticity. You must be authentic. You must be what? You must be authentic. In other words, people follow you for who you are, not just what you do. Be authentic. Modern leadership requires authenticity. That is why in the last 4 or 5 years, most major economies have changed their government. When people feel that they cannot trust you, they change you. I have an introduction here. Kwame Tewia Gia. Kwame, where are you speaking from? And where are you joining us from? But I'll read it. Ultimately, in 5 years, my aspiration is to assume a leadership role in my institution or any renowned organization where I can make meaningful impact on healthcare delivery, addressing systematic challenges and improving patients' outcome. Kwame, I want to work with you. To be honest, to make this dream, I don't know what you are currently doing, and I don't know what you are doing in the past, but what you have stated in the future is very great. I would like to know more about you, to know what you are doing now, what you have done in the past, your experience, share with us. It don't have to be corporate. It can be what you have been doing that has built you up. But I love what you intend doing as a leader in the future, and I wish you all the best. And I hope that I can get to meet you and I can get to work with you. These 4 pillars are there. If what you see in the next 5, 6, 7 years of your life, if you want it to come to pass, you have to be authentic. You have to be authentic. Authenticity is number 1. Because if you are not authentic, people will not follow you. People only follow you when they feel that you're authentic. If they feel that you are in to take their money, or you are in not for the right heart, not for the right reason, they will not follow you. So authenticity is 1. Number 2 is agility, the ability to adapt quickly in uncertainty. And like I said, since COVID, things have changed. You cannot remain the same. You have to change with the changing times. Somebody said, in matters of principle, stand like a rock. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. But in matters of change, swim with the current. In the matters of change, swim with the current. So if I am to rise and lead, whether in insurance, whether in healthcare dimension, you have to do what? You have to swim with the current. Like I said, you have to swim with the current. And currently, the excuses of I don't have money to establish a big business, a big building. I'm not even here talking about business. Don't want to lead in any aspect. Is gone. You have to be ready to do that. I have a very powerful one here. My name is Ayodele Victor. Ayo, forgive me, Ogun Jemulia. If I don't mention your surname properly, forgive me. He said, I'm calling from Bradford. I am a music lover and I've always put my passion to serving in God's house. I ran a music school. I know her. If you saw Ephraim Emmanuel playing instruments right now, in a matter of 10 to 12 months, this guy has managed to train 3 of our children to play instruments. And yesterday they played instrument in church. And so I know him. And so what he's talking about, please, if you are looking at training your children, get in touch with him. Now, listen to this. I run a music school which is still growing, and I'm currently building myself in becoming a farmer in the next 5 years, so as to be able to fulfill my ambition of making organic food produce available in the world, and also to be able to educate my world about the importance of healthy living in the world of today. Ayo, I want to see music in your future too. But I like what you have put down. I want to work with you. Everyone on this platform, I want to work with you to make this imagination come to pass. Because you are the leader, you are the leaders of the future. You are the leaders that we are waiting for. The world will become a better place if people will begin to think like this. You see, Ayo, for instance, in the next 5 years, you should be able to build a system where people can just register and learn music from. And so somebody is in Ghana, somebody is in South Africa watching us right now, and the person can really do it. The person can really just log into your online, because that's what I'm defining. Leadership has changed. And so if you want to lead, I want you to begin to think in this section. But I love what you have put down, and I'm looking forward to that. So that is agility. I stopped in there because I promised I was going to do that. That is agility. Number 3, collaboration. And I'll be talking deeply on all of these. These are the 4 pillars of the 21st century modern leadership. Collaboration. In other words, you don't lead alone. Leadership must be seen as a network, not a hierarchy. We used to draw pyramids and hierarchies and say who is at the bottom, who is at the top, who is in top management. Now it's no longer that. When I say that we need to reimagine leadership, these are some of the things we need to reimagine leadership. And these are the pillars. It's about relationship. And that's what we are doing here. Somebody is doing music. You are doing music in South Africa. You can ask and you can get in touch with each other. And what happens now is that you take your leadership capacity to another level. You take your leadership capacity to another level. If you are just coming up, you are welcome. We want you to introduce yourself in 3 ways: who you are, what you have done, and what you see yourself doing as a leader in the next 5 to 10 years. And when you put it on the screen, we will pause and stop and talk to you about it. So these are the 4 pillars of modern leadership that we need to reimagine leadership. Number 1, authenticity. Number 2, agility. Number 3, collaboration. Number 4, impact. So as a leader, how authentic are you? As a leader, how agile are you? Or how easy are you able to adapt to uncertainties? Because we are living in times of uncertainties. Number 3, collaboration. Are you willing to collaborate? Are you willing to stretch forth your hand and work with other people? And then number 4 is impact. Measurable changes in life, businesses, and communities. These are the 4 things that I consider the pillars of leadership. And if leadership is changing in our time, then these are the very, very key areas that every one of us need to really look at. So far we have looked at why this matters. We have looked at areas where leadership has shifted, and we have looked at 4 pillars of leadership. I want to make it very reflective and interactive. And so I've already asked you a question where you can tell us more about yourself and where you are and what you do. There are 9 truths of the 21st century leadership, and this one I'm going to center on within the limited time that we have. There are 9. There are more, but because of time, I can focus on that. I want to break them down into 3 buckets, and I want you to imagine a bucket with things in, and that's exactly what we are going to do. In bucket 1, we are going to look at the foundation of leadership, and we're going to focus on identity and influence. The 21st century leader. What is the foundation of leadership today? What is the foundation of leadership today? I have something on there from Abba Texan. It says, a trained accountant. Abba, wow. Please, can you hear me? Because somebody says she can't hear anything. Nana, if you cannot hear me, let me know. If you cannot hear me, let me know. But Nana, please check your system because I think everybody can. If you can hear me, let me know, please. If you can't hear me too, let me know. So let me know. If more people cannot hear, then we have to check it here. But the system is okay. Yeah, somebody can hear. Somebody says I can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Okay. So Nana Hagan, please check your system because yes, everybody seems to hear. So that means that maybe your system has to be checked. And I hope that you can really do that. Yeah, Nana. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I can hear. I can hear. I can hear. Okay. I can hear. I can hear. Okay. Nana. Nana, please, if you can hear me, just check your system and hopefully we can be able to solve that problem. Okay. But I'm coming back to thank you, everyone. Justina Abba Texan. Wow. Please listen to this. I am Abba Texan, a trained accountant. I have worked as an administrative officer for 4 years, taught as a primary teacher over 5 years, and also worked as a carer in the mental health sector for the past 2 years. My greatest achievement is being a mother. Wonderful. I look forward to fully responding to the call of God upon my life, revealing God's thoughts to the nations without fear nor favor. Abba, that is fantastic. Again, for every one of us, I am looking forward to working with you. Now, somebody like Abba, I can see there is so much to you, really. Abba, I don't know whether you have seen yourself still running an accounting firm alongside, but It is possible. What you have said is possible, and I still see even more about you. And so, like I said, for everybody here, I hope that when I finish this, we will be able to work together, because I'm going to share some things with you. One of the things that I see in my future, which I've been working on for a while now, is the area of building systems. And at the end, I'll share with you. So I've moved from doing a lot of seminars and meetings to building systems so I can accommodate more people. Remember what I said. In the next 5-10 years, I want to further train not less than 1,000 people along the way on different levels that I've lifted and I've shifted to you very deeply. Yeah. So, Abba, thank you so much for that introduction of yourself. Nana, I hope that you can hear us now. I'll be very, very sad if you don't hear us. But please let me know if you are still struggling to hear us. But I was on this, the 9th truth of the 21st century leader. So again, I don't know how you see yourself, but whether you're a husband, a wife, an individual, that's the first group. I'm targeting those in small, medium enterprises or working in organizations. As well, you are a leader. And because I'm a pastor, I'm also focusing on those who are in the church, serving in departments, running ministries and organizations. If things are going to run better, we need every leader to rethink what leadership is. And 3 buckets. The first bucket is the foundation of leadership. The second bucket, I call it the function of leadership in the 21st century. And then the third bucket, I call it the future of leadership. The future of leadership. Let's go quickly into most of these major areas and pick something from there. One is the foundation of leadership. The foundation of leadership in the 21st century. We must see the foundation of leadership in the 21st century in the area of identity and influence. These 2 I's are very powerful today. In other words, if you are going to lead, you first have to accept and embrace it. You have to identify yourself as a leader. You are not going to lead in anything if you don't embrace it. And so the first one is you have to embrace yourself in that sense. In other words, what I mean is that leadership today is not about titles, but actions. I've said it before. It's about actions. It's not about what you say. It's not about the titles you put yourself. It's not even about the degrees you get in college or the PhD that you just got. It's not about that. It's about the actions that you are willing to take. How do you identify yourself? By the way, I have a question there. In what ways is your presence flavoring your environment? I want you to answer me. In what ways? Many of you have defined yourself. How are you influencing your environment? I'm coming to that. Number two, leadership is first of all self-discovery. Identity precedes influence. In other words, you cannot be in a position of influence if you don't identify yourself so. So you see, as many of us define ourselves, the question is, if what you are telling me the next 5 years is going to come to pass in your life, then you have to really, really identify yourself first in that area. How do you see yourself in that area of in the next 5 years where you want to be? If you don't see at all, 5 years will come, but you will not still make that impact. So leadership is number one, first discovery. This is the foundation for anybody that wants to identify himself as a leader in the 21st century. Identity precedes influence. Number three, leadership is influence. So when I've identified myself, then I'm able to influence other people. I'm able to influence my organization. I'm able to influence anywhere that I am. Leadership is not control, but impact. Remember what I said. I'm going to pause here. I can see something from Antonio Gatti. Hi, my name is Antonio Gatti, joining from UK. I am a social entrepreneur and a chartered banker working in the banking industry for 8 years. So in the last 8 years, this is where Antonio has been working. Over the next 5 years, I aim to broaden my international business experience, positioning myself as an international business consultant and policy advocate focused on driving SME development across Africa. Antonio, again, I'm looking forward to working with you. In the next 5 years, we want to see you in this position, and I know that you will be in this position. To be honest, if we can work on it, and like that's what I'm saying, what I'm trying to do with us is everyone on here, I really, really want you to begin to imagine, and everything that I'm talking to you about is as practical as you can think about. And I know that this is just a 1 hour kind of stuff that I have with you, but I'm imagining working with you for the next 6 months. To be honest, it is possible. It is really, really possible, and I'm so excited to meet you and to working with you, even in the church, in an amazing way. So that is Antonio. If you want to get in contact with Antonio, if you want to start collaborating, like I said, everything I'm saying is so practical. This is the platform to do it right now. Connect with somebody, and we begin to work on that. Samantha, listening to me is also adding something. I encourage the children that I work with to be themselves and don't let anyone tell them what they can and cannot do. I encourage them also to be confident and to speak up for themselves. Please keep your comments coming and pick something up from tonight. In what ways is your presence flavoring your environment? I believe that is what Samantha answered. This is how she is flavoring. You see, let me pick on a scripture. Most of my leadership skills and the leadership secret I've developed over the last 15 years. You won't believe it, but I've developed it through the Bible. The Bible, for me, is a great leadership resource. To be honest with you, it's a great leadership resource. And I love the scripture in Matthew chapter 5, verse 13 to 16, talking about leadership and looking at yourself as a leader in the 21st century. This is so key. The Bible says it this way. It says, you are the salt of the earth. If the salt loses flavor, what do we do with the salt? The salt is thrown away. Then he moves forward to say, you are the light of the world. A light hidden, nobody lights a candle and put it under the bed. It has to be put on top of the bed. Am I right? That is what the scripture says. There are two key words there. I put on the glasses because of the lighting in the room, but the weather is coming down, so hopefully it's great. Now listen to me. There are two key words here. You are light and you are salt. Every person must see themselves as a light and salt. I'm operating under light right now. What light does is that it brightens and it gives people the way to walk. What salt does is that it brings taste into food. No matter how good and how well you prepare food, if there's no salt in it, it will not do anything. Now, what I believe the Bible is saying that is so important for the 21st century leader, and the Bible has been there for over 2,000 years. Listen to this. What the Bible is trying to communicate is one word. Salt and light have one thing in common. Both influences the environment. So when there is darkness, light influences the darkness and brings brightness. Salt influences the food and adds taste to the food. The 21st century leader must see himself as a salt and a light. And as many that has been shared, what I want to begin to work with people is first to imagine themselves as that. You are going to influence the situation, the condition, whether in your marriage, whether in your children, whether in organization, whether in church or beyond. This is how you have to begin to see yourself. You must see yourself as an influence. You must see yourself as salt. You must see yourself as light. This is what the Bible is trying to tell you. So when we say that leadership is influence, it is not about control, it is about impact. And when you look at that scripture and you look at the words of Jesus, that's exactly what he did. And if we are going to change the world, if we are going to do something great, we must influence our nations and our lives and our homes and our cities. That is why I'm asking you the question, in what ways is your presence flavoring your environment? I have only one answer. I have something from Great Priest says, I'm able to influence my environment by the unique skills I possess and out of the box thinking capabilities I demonstrate. These are very powerful skills that you have, Prit. I passionate, considerate, empathetic, and relentless in achieving my set goals. I especially utilize these skills in my current position. So, Prit, I want to know your current position. I want to know a bit about your set goals. What I'm trying to do is to try and give us laser focused leadership and give us I want us to be very specific tonight. This is what I do. So I want people to be very specific, A, B, C, D. I want to do A, I want to do B, I want to do C, I want to do D. And so that's it. Okay. My wife is in the building. She's also watching us. My name is Rhoda J. Bediako. I have worked in my restaurant, Young Spice, for many successful years. I would say 6 years. And I hope to branch out my business worldwide and be God's kingdom financier, open companies, and above all, use my gift to serve the church and be a blessing to all people who cross my path. Hey, anybody wants to open Young Spice in any part of the world, you need to contact Rhoda. And seriously, this is my wife. This is our dream. This is how we see ourselves on the business aspect. And we are working towards it. And maybe there is somebody on there that loves to prepare food, that loves the food business. Please get in touch with me and I will link you with my wife. And I know that she's very passionate about it. And I want each and every one of us to be very passionate about where we are going. Because like I said, I see leaders on the platform, and in the next 5 years, hey, the dream is very powerful. But the question is, in what ways is your presence flavoring your environment? I've got 2 people answering that question, and I want to hear from you. You know, in a Harvard Business Review in 2018, it is discovered in 2018. I have this research in front of me. I couldn't put it down. Self-awareness is the most important capability for leaders in the 21st century. Yet, leaders who rate themselves as self-aware are only 10 to 15% of the actual numbers their peers report. And so even though that in the 21st century, we are identified that being self-aware, this is the foundation of leadership, is a major aspect. When the research was done, only 10 to 15% of people that sees themselves as leaders are self-aware of what they carry and have self-imagination. The first point to starting anything that you want to start or whatever you want to be is by changing your thinking. One of these days I'll come up with you on a business level and do some things with you. If you don't change your thinking and if you can't see with your imagination, it's going to be very, very difficult to position yourself as an authority in every sphere of life where you want to see yourself. And so this is what we are talking about in a very great dimension. Tonight's conversation is very deep and very, very important. Let me move to the second bucket because of time. In the second bucket, I said that the 21st century leader must understand the function of leadership. The function of leadership. And I've already introduced and built the foundation. And so I'm putting it up on a very, 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 very deep level. Now, the function of leadership is in two ways in the 21st century: service and solutions. Service and solutions. Service and solutions. Service and solution. You cannot be positional leader now. You have to serve. And so those of you in the church, you are not in position. How are you influencing? How are you flavoring the department you are serving? How are you adding value to the job that you have been employed? These are the questions I'm asking you, because this is what will take you to the next promotion. This one will take you to the next level. If not, you operate at the same level and you see people passing you by. So, okay, two, I'm talking about the function of leadership in the 21st century. In the 21st century, leadership will function by service and solution. The richest people are going to be those who solve problems. The great people are going to be those who serve and they know what they are serving. And so, even before I go into the 4 sub points, the question is, what problem around you are you called to solve? I need an answer. I want you to talk to me about it. What problem around you are you called to solve? What problem around you are you called to solve? My name is Carl Dovey, joining in from the United Kingdom. I've worked as a project manager on different social projects for the past 11 years. So we see Carl in the last 11 years. I'm currently working as a volunteer program assistant manager with Bradford 2025. And for those of you who are watching us from across the world, we are operating from Bradford, the city of culture. We are proud, and this is one of my sons, and he's working on the Bradford 2025 project. We are really proud of him and what the Lord is doing. In the next 5 years, I would like to position myself as a leader in project consultancy game. Okay? Drawing tangible solutions to the world's most stringent problems. So look at what Carl have said in the next 5 years. And look at what I'm saying now. If Carl wants to see himself as a project consultancy game or a leader in the project consultancy game, drawing something? Tangible solutions to the world's most stringent problems, then there should be problems that Carl is willing to solve. This is what we are talking about. And Carl should be willing to serve. Now, watch me. He should be willing, and I'm giving this for free, he should be willing to serve first before profit seeking. So remember, we have moved from the time where leadership is more about profit first and then purpose seeking to purpose first, now profit seeking. If he's waiting to be paid for everything, he will not be known. He will not be in a position of influence. But if he's taking what I'm talking to you about right now, and this is what I do in mentorship, when we come alongside you, identify who you are, and then begin to look at how you can imagine yourself, how you can position yourself, how you can change your perspective, how you can change your thinking, how you can position yourself, how you can begin to do some things until even the world's attention comes on you, and then you keep going to that level. So, Carl, great to have you here. Great to have you on board. I'm looking for greater things in the months and the years ahead, really to work alongside you for these things to happen, because it will happen if we can imagine and if we can communicate and do the needful. It is going to happen. So that is very powerful. So if you look at the practicality of what you and I are doing, based on what many of you are sharing, which is great, then this is the way forward for many of you. What problem around you are you called to solve? So what problem are you solving right now? What I'm doing right now is solving a problem. Have you noticed that I did not put money first before service? I'm putting service. Do I need money? Yes. But it is not service. It is not money first, service second, because I understand that the functionality of leadership now have shifted and have changed. Is somebody getting understanding? So leadership is the willingness to serve. Again, I take you to the Bible. My greatest inspiration is Jesus Christ. The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as ransom to others. And we did not understand this 2,000 years ago. But with the changing dynamics, the principles, especially of the Word of God, is still coming to pass. And you can use these things in organizations and your homes and everywhere where you are. Number two, leadership is solving problems and creating solutions. How many of us have read the book of Nehemiah? Let me know. If you have read the book of Nehemiah, let me know. And if you have not read the book of Nehemiah, it's only some few chapters. I want you to go read the book of Nehemiah. I said something that in the next 5 years, for leadership to really, really amplify, you have to be able to communicate. Leaders in the 21st century must communicate. And what I mean communication is Read. Open your mind. Open your mind. You see, you can speak without thinking. We have done it before, and we always say, "Ooh, what did I just say?" You can speak without thinking, but you cannot think without words. You need to write it down. You can speak without thinking, but you cannot think without words. You have to be able to think with pictures. Half of us, as I'm observing, have not introduced themselves. And most of the times, you will realize that it's because we are not either comfortable where we are or we cannot think deeply on where we're going. It does not stop you from being a leader. You are a leader. Once you are an individual, and every one of us here, you are a leader. But the problem is you have to be able to communicate. In other words, you have to be able to read. Like I said, if you look back here, there are books all around me. If you look on there, this room I'm operating from, let me introduce to you, is the favorite part of our house. We call it the greatness room. We've set a room aside, we call it greatness room, where we want to inspire ourselves. First, we want to inspire children, and we want to inspire anybody that you have opportunity to come visit us. And in this room, everything that we consider great is kept in the room. No TV there. When you come, you sit down, you just focus and read and pray. And there's only a piano there. Play piano, then you can enjoy yourself. But we just want to come into a room where we just begin to create a future that is better for us and better for our children, and let our children create the same thing for themselves. I'm not saying go and have a room like that, but you should be able to have something like that. What I'm holding here is my vision for is my vision from January 2025 to December 2025. I have framed it, and it's in my greatness room. Anytime I enter here, I communicate with myself. And so this is what I'm talking about. And I'm being real with you. You have to be able to communicate with yourself. And for you to communicate effectively with yourself, you can speak without thinking, but you can never think without words. And if your vocabulary, even though you want to go somewhere, is very limited, you won't be able to go. And so one of the things that reading does to your mind is that it opens your mind. Somebody is picking up something, and so he's putting it up there for us. You can speak without thinking, but you can't think without words. And so for you to think with words, you must be able to broaden your mind. And so for those of us who have stated where you want to be in the next 5 years, you must have a bigger capacity of words that you think about in order to get there. That is what I mean. The 21st century leader or person that wants to lead, or that wants to be influential, that wants to make impact, must be able to think with words. Now people are coming up and say again, Desmond Bilson. Nice to have you, Desmond. He says, I'm Desmond Bilson, presently serving as the president of the Ghana Student Society. Desmond, I'm looking forward to meet you. I've not met you, but I'm looking forward to meet you. Of Bradford, UK. The last 5 years, I have honed my leadership skills through NGOs and volunteerism in community development. Fantastic leaders on the platform. I should release my first book within the next 5 years. And I can't wait to, it will be a privilege to work with you on your book, and start up an organization focused on research and lobbying that will serve as a middle channel between African communities and international organizations to facilitate mutual development. Can you see the caliber of people that you and I are going to work with and work with in the next 5 years? Desmond, so great to have you on the platform, and really looking forward possibly to probably meet you very soon, really. And this is what I'm talking about. And everything I'm shaping about, what Desmond wants to do in the next 5 years is possible. He's supposed to be able to communicate with himself by what? Opening his mind. And like I said, you cannot speak without thinking, but you cannot think without words. And so if your words are limited, and so you see little, your perspective is the first thing that must shift for whatever you want to do to come to pass. In the 21st century, I keep saying, it's not about money first. It's about even your perspective. We'll leave some of the things for business, and when we come on, we will talk deeply about that. So yeah, keep introducing yourself wherever you are. If you are learning something, let us know what you are learning. I have a second question I want you to reflect on. what problems around you are you solving, or what problems around you are you called to solve. And I was talking to you about Nehemiah. Nehemiah is that young man that was working in the king's palace. And one day, somebody travel from the hometown, and come down and tell Nehemiah there's something happening. And what was it that was happening? The walls of their nation had been broken down. That is a problem. There are three groups of people. There are those who see problems, there are those who talk about problems, and there are those who do something about problems. Those who do something about problems evolve as great leaders in the future, especially now. What Nehemiah now did was to take that problem and solve that problem. And today, we cannot talk of any leader in history without mentioning the name of that man. Every young person that wants to see something in the next 5 years must read the book of Nehemiah. And when you are reading the book of Nehemiah, I want you to read the book of Nehemiah as an individual who wants to aspire to become a leader in the future. That is all that I will say. That is all that I will say on that one. Number 3, leadership is responsibility, not a privilege. Leadership is a responsibility, not a privilege in the 21st century. So whether you are serving in church, it is not a privilege. You have a responsibility. You have to solve a problem. This is it. You see, one of the young men that introduced himself, Isaiah, is currently doing something in our church that I have to bring out. Isaiah is the head of our technical department. And what Isaiah is doing is fascinating. Isaiah is planning a departmental shirt, with the logo of the church on it and what they do, technical department or the media team on it. When we gave him that position, he can act as a privilege or he can act as a responsibility. This is an example of responsibility. And so currently he is on my neck to make investment into those codes so that their department will be different. And it's going to perhaps be one of the major departments in the church that have done such things. And that is how we define leadership. Not as a privilege that you are in that position, but as a responsibility to administer change. Secondly, where the PA system and the outputs are, he just discussed with me to buy a stack so that we can properly organize it and that the wires will not trip somebody to hurt themselves. You see, we gave a position to somebody who is not just there as a privilege or because nobody is there, maybe pastor has given him this position, but he sees a responsibility. I want you to look at where you are right now. What has been committed into your hands? Do you see it as a privilege or do you see it as a responsibility? And if you see it as a responsibility, what are you doing to enhance whatever has been put in your hands? Hear me. I love this scripture. They that are faithful in little will be committed to much. If you are not faithful to little, even the little you have can be taken away from you. Leaders in the 21st century now must begin to self-initiate and solve problems around them to the level that the problems they are solving becomes a point of contact that opens them up to greater things. I have 20 minutes with you. Praise says, I solve communication issues alongside lifestyle problems. I solve problems related to anxiety, addiction, and despair. Praise, that is a great area that you are an addictive disorder. Yes, both a privilege and a responsibility to make a difference in one's life. Praise, that is powerful. Keep doing it. Keep at it. Number 4, leadership is not comfort. It is responsibilities. Leaders in the 21st century They step up to do, they serve, they solve, and they sacrifice. 3S. Whatever position that you are, to define yourself as a relevant leader today, you must be serving, you must be solving problems, and sacrifice. These 3S, don't underestimate it. You must serve, you must solve problem, and it will come with a price. And that price is the price of sacrifice. Very quickly, let's look at the fourth one. Let's look at the fourth one. The future of leadership. The future of leadership. We have seen the foundation of leadership in the 21st century. We have seen the function of leadership in the 21st century. And then we are going to look at finally the future of leadership. Thank you for staying put. We're nearly there. The function or the future of leadership. The future of leadership is vision and legacy. Vision and legacy. Vision and legacy. We are living in uncertain times, and things are going to change, and I cannot predict the future. But what we can talk about is that whatever position that you are, as an individual, as a husband, as a guardian, as a caretaker, as a career mother, as a career woman, to those who want to really branch out into organizations, run industries, run ministries, run businesses, the future of leadership is vision. What fuels your leadership is passion, purpose, or pressure. And the question is, what are the, of all the three things, what is the fuel that you have as a leader? I need an answer from you as we go along. I need an answer from you as we go along. Number one, vision, the ability for you to have a vision and follow through. In other words, you have to be able to see beyond what it is or what is. You have to be able to act and build on it. I love what Warren Buffett said. He said, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. So many of you have told us 5 years from now, you realize that is vision. This is the future of leadership. I made you speak about your present, your past, and your future. And so what I'm doing at the end is that the future of leadership is vision. So at the beginning, you stated your vision. If you're able to get there, you must be able to follow through. The ability, like I said, the ability or the capacity to translate vision into reality is what future leadership and the 21st century leadership and the next dimension of leadership is really going to talk about and really going to evolve about. Number two is passion and conviction. Passion and conviction. The next thing I want to do with some of you is to find out how passionate you are with what you've told me. Because you see, there's one thing saying what you see in the next 5 years. And there's another thing having the passion and the conviction to really do what you have to do. Somebody is learning something. What fuels me is my dedication, desire to make a difference. So somebody says, here, her fuel is passion. What is your fuel? Is it purpose or pressure? All three things are very powerful. All three things, it depends what you pick and what we can add to you. It depends what you pick and what you can add to you. So there's a question on there, and I want you to reflect on the questions and talk to me about it. Passion and conviction. In the next 5 years, whoever have introduced themselves, including myself, it will take passion and conviction to get there. If you are not passionate enough, if you are not fully convicted, 5 years will come, 10 years will come, and that drive is not there. And that drive is not there. I love what Miles Monroe said. He said, leadership is influence rooted in vision, conviction, and purpose. Leadership is influence rooted in vision, conviction, and purpose. And in the next 5 years, that is what is going to happen. Abba is coming. He says, I've been called to shepherd and wipe the tears of the broken, abused, and abandoned. I am doing that by going through mental and spiritual therapy myself. And so Abba, for instance, in the next 5 years, How strong is your passion? And how convicted are you in this area? You have to be able to measure it. This is the future of leadership. In other words, this is the future of those who want to rise up and lead. Because many of you have just told me what you want to do in the next 5 years, which has not been done. For you to do it, this is the secret that I'm giving you. Number three, for those of us in corporate organization, for those of us in ministries, this is number three is the future of leadership is reproducing leaders. Yesterday we went down to the level of children preaching, children teaching, seeing so many over the last 10 years. Some children have passed through. Hirsch is on the line, and I know that he's there watching. Hirsch, I want to hear from you. Tell me about yourself, where you are in the next 5 years, where you see yourself. I want to hear before I finish. So Hirsch, if you can hear me, I've not seen your introduction, and I want to see that. Okay, we have to reproduce leaders. We have to reproduce leaders. For those of us who are in corporate organizations and those in church, this is my heartbeat. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I've asked every one of our almost 16 leaders in the church to make sure that they join this platform. I know that people may be working, but they can watch this once you register. I want to see your seriousness later. And we want to be in a position of raising leaders, because I may not be there all the time. But if I'm not there, what we have started must go on. And that is what is supposed to, that's what is supposed to happen. Samantha Morrison says, the thing that fuels my passion is the end results I envision. Knowing that I can influence a young person to have a mind of his, her own, and think for themselves instead of feeling disappointed in being able to fit in the world's mold. That passion will take you far, Sam. That passion will take you far. So there are three things that must fuel you: either passion, purpose, or what we said, pressure. You can channel pressure in a positive way. You can channel pressure in a positive way. I have been able to drive so many things out from me under pressure. So pressure and pain, many of you may be in there, can affect you negatively, but can also affect you positively. So my fuel is pressure and pain. Somebody's fuel is passion. Kwame Tevia says, my fuel is passion. So that is it. His fuel is passion. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Every one of us, wherever you are. That is great. Okay. And so let's quickly go back on there. I have about 12 minutes with you, and I know that I'm not going to take much time from you. So passion and conviction is key. That's what we are talking about. Number three, reproducing other leaders is what we are talking about. Reproducing other leaders. So I don't know the sphere that you are working. You are either to start collaborating, or those of us at a certain level, we are supposed to begin to reproduce leaders. Is the key for the future, so that the dream and the passion does not die with you. Very quickly, let me bring up a McKinsey report in 2022, and it has been discovered that organizations with strong leadership pipelines are 2.3 more likely to outperform peers in revenue growth. So when we have 2-3 people that are united single-handedly with nothing, over time they can outperform another organization or another group of people that have put probably finances at the center of their core. They can run dry, and there are many factors that I may not be able to discuss with you here because this is just introduction. This is just introduction. Very quickly, now I come to a very important point of our segment here. Everything that I've talked to you about is the introduction to what is happening in and around us. Everything that we just talked about is an introduction. I've talked to you about the why. I've talked to you about the what. That 21st century leadership is changing, should be shifting. What happens now is the question, how do we do it? How do we do it? How do I get to the next 5 years of what I've just talked about? How do I find myself and push myself to the next level? This is my assignment in the next 10, 15, 20 years of my life, if heaven tarries. And like I said from the beginning, I want to begin to work with many of you. Really, I want to begin to work with many of you on the area of mentorship and really picking things up so that you can identify yourself, you can know where you are going, and have somebody behind you that pushes you. When I was introducing myself, I said that in the last 10 years plus, I have driven almost about 250 to 300 people into leadership, into corporate organizations, into business in many areas. For me, in the next 10 years, I want to be in a position where I can drive not less than 700. I want to reach up to 1,000 people. And if I'm still alive, I'll push more. You want to be part of my mentorship cycle, this is an opportunity for you. My organization now is called Purpose Achievers Group because we are doing so much, so we have put everything under one umbrella to empower purpose-driven success, as you can see on your screen. There are 4 aspects of our services that we provide. Number 1 is personal development coaching. Number 2 is business and entrepreneurship coaching. Number 3 is leadership coaching. And number 4 is Christian book publication. I saw some publishers, people in the next 5 years want to publish their books. I want to work with you so that you have 100% of your work and get your book across the world. And I'm only doing Christian publication or books that I know that has going to have impact on generation. On personal development coaching, what I'm doing now is we have built systems. Every one of the services that you see, we have built systems. We just finished with a new website called purposeachieversgroup.com. I want you to go there, purposeachieversgroup.com. You can see it on your screen. Purpose Achieving Life, purposeachieversgroup.com. A group of most of my organizations have come together so that we can properly serve people. purposeachieversgroup.com. Go check the website out. Everything that I do now is on one platform now, which has taken us many years to be able to do it. Personal development coaching, we have a step-by-step coaching program to help you find your purpose and get yourself ready to make impact in the world. So whether I'm asleep or not, that's what I mean that we have built the system. It's a 10-step system that every one of us can follow, especially at least if you are above the age of 18. Those below the age of 18, I do it for free for them. So if you are below the age of 18 or you have a child or who is below 18, purpose is the key to fulfillment. And if we can help the young ones to find their purpose early, better. But for those of us who are above the age of 18, you don't know, life is not clear, you really don't know what your life is about, it is not too late. I do coaching on that for many years, and now I've built a system that you can enroll on. You don't even need me to be there. It will lead you to the top, and I'll be there with a team to assist you. Number 2 is business and entrepreneurship coaching. You are here, you want to go into business, you want to go into enterprising. I coach people. I have a step-by-step coaching program to guide through business planning, setup, funding, financial management, startup, and scaling your business. I've been operating as a business and entrepreneurship over the last 15 years. So the latest skills that I have, I will be able to help you. Number 3, leadership coaching. I felt so important to bring this to you because of the times that we are in. But this is just the beginning. This is just the what and the why you should rethink leadership. Most important thing is the how, the step by step. So again, I have a step by step coaching program to guide you and your organization to become an effective 21st century leader. So whether you are an individual, you are working on an organization, or you are in the church, we can come to you to train. You can register to be trained. So pastors who are watching me, if you want your organization to be trained and your people to be trained so that we can sharpen them like we are doing here, we are ready to do it. Number 4 is Christian book publication. This is the fourth service that we provide. I have published no less than 12 books, and I've gone through the process and seen how I published with organizations in the US and the UK, and I've seen how we are cheated in publications. And so after all these years, I am going into this Christian book publication. I've self-tested it and published almost about 4 of my books myself that are selling worldwide. I can help you do the same, yes, on a fee, but it is much better than what you pay out there, and most organizations will take percentage from you for the rest of your life. I mean it. But I want to genuinely work with people that want to publish their Christian books and help them to do it on a 100% free for yourself, for you to enjoy your royalties. And so if you are interested in any of these, you go straight to purposeachieversgroup.com. I think I'm running some offers on there right now because of this, and we are celebrating officially our 10 years in as a Purpose Achievers Group organization. And so I'm running some offers on there. You can go there and you can register. I will look forward to meeting many of you. So whether it's personal development coaching, business development coaching, leadership, or Christian publication, you can go there. You can have all the access of everything there. Purpose Achievers Group all together in one. I don't know whether anybody have a question before we do that. Somebody already said that I would like to help Leah with her children's book with illustration. She has many wonderful ideas for books for children. Please get in touch with me. We can work on this straight away. These books are biblical based for children. Yeah, we can work on that straight away. We can work on that. Would you work with Leah, please, on publishing a children's book? Leah, I will do that. So let's talk on this. Yes, so we are coming to an end. Really, I hope that this has been a blessing to you. Even if you don't join my organization, or if you don't join for mentorship, that is okay. I believe that you are learning something. But for those of you who really feel that you need somebody alongside, go on it. These are supposed to be thousands of pounds, but money is not the motivation. But of course, I'm running this website that is very expensive and costly, and most of these things will just go into that. But again, I want to have those who are serious. Somebody is asking, can I pay in installment? Yes, most of the courses you can pay in installment. I don't think they're expensive. I'm not here to talk money. So if you go on my website, you will see the prices. It's not expensive. I want you to, people don't like free stuff. So I stopped doing that. You are even lucky I'm doing this one. Really. If you want value, you have to put value on things. And I don't want to talk beyond that. So those of you who are really serious to go to the next level, if you feel that I'll be of help, I am available to have conversations. But if you really want me to sit down with you, my time for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, then you will pay something, at least for you to be committed. So please get ready, go on there, and let's move from here. I don't want it to only be here. I want us to work beyond here. Thank you for your attention. I will be here for a little questions if you have any questions so far on what we have said, and I can answer you as much information I can give you. I'll give you. Your skill has a reward, sir. Thank you so much, Pret. Yes. So that is it. It has been a massive blessing, and all I can say is that may God reward you in ways you won't believe, sir. Thank you so much, Ayo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. PurposeAchieversGroup.com. You see it on the screen. Please just go there, and you can get my books. Now everything I do is in one place, and it's been a dream come true for me, and I want to see your dream come true. Everything I do is in one place. The services, the books, and everything is in one place. So go there, get yourself copies of the books, and get it for other people, and it will be a blessing. But what I have shared, I've shared it from my heart, and I hope that it will help you to rethink leadership in the next couple of years ahead of you, and make the impact that you have to make. For those of you who are already in leadership in churches, in organizations, as we have heard, rethink about this, get out there, and start making some differences right now. I told you about what is happening in our ministry with Isaiah. I want to see that happen in your church. Hesh, tell me about yourself before you go. Tell me who you are, what you have been, where you see yourself in the next 10 years. Okay? Prince says, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time and undivided attention to details for helping the children of God. That is great. Sam says, God bless you, sir. Thank you for this information and inspiration session. God bless you tremendously. I receive it. Very great. Isaac from Ghana. Isaac, I don't know whether you define yourself, but I'm happy working with you. Yeah, please, all of you navigate to the website and do that. Put some value, put some commitment in. I want you to be committed so that I can also fully commit my time to you. Really, I mean it. Thank you so much for the investment made on us tonight, Pastor Kofi. God bless you greatly. Thank you so much. Yes, Hesh says, I'm Hesh Baines, aspiring astrophysicist, future leader, and instrument of God. That's very powerful. That's very powerful. I've been working with this young man since he was the age of 8. If you are watching it, I've been working with this young man since he was the age of 8. And this is him now. And now this is about over 10 years now. And he's 19, getting to the age of 20. And this is him. I will fulfill the divine will for my life and lead others to the truth while I pursue my career in scientific research and development. I'm fueled by conviction. My passion stems from the grief I feel upon observing today's youth, seeking to induce a massive change. Guys, this is what I am talking about. From the age of 8, I started working with this young boy, now a young man, and look at where he is going. I want to do so with as many. Like I said, it's part of the 200, 300. Let me just limit to 300. But there is more. This is how I see my life. 1,000 more. I want you to be part of it. Go and register yourself. Don't think about the money you can pay in installment. It's nothing compared to what you are going to get. And that is one of my, if I should say, a case study. It's a young man that you are reading here. Hesh, we are going to the top. We are rising. And the world will know that God is good. Okay? So keep your heads held high, humble, and keep going. We are right behind to push you. Neil, thank you. Thank you, Pastor, for yours and everyone input into this session. It has been a blessing indeed. And Neil, it has been a blessing indeed. Kwame says, one thing I like about your presentation is using a Bible principles of leadership. Kwame, that is it. And like I said, most of the skills that I've learned in leadership, I learned from the Bible, to be honest, and I won't lie. I learned from the Bible. The Bible is a great resource. And everything I've done over the last close to 20 years really has been based on principles. I had an opportunity of working and studying under Miles Monroe and John Maxwell. Go on my website, learn more about me and most of the things that we're doing. Today I came here because of you, and so I don't want to talk more. And so, as a pastor, I want to operate beyond just the pulpit, and that's why we are doing what we are doing, running business and organizations, and we know that God will help us. And I want many of us to be inspired to do that. Yes. So Kwame, nice to meet you. I hope we can catch up and learn more and more together. Those of you who are outside the UK, in Ghana, please, if you are interested and you are really serious, please get in touch with me. We'll find a way out. I'm hoping to be in Ghana before the end of the year, and hopefully we can work something out. All right. Benjamin says, thank you so much, sir. This is a timeless message. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for being here and taking some time to be here. I hope that we can connect and collaborate and do more. Amen. Abba says amen. Thank you for access. Thank you for also coming up. And so we are finishing right now. All right. And hope to catch up with many of you very soon. You can keep your comments coming. We'll go off in the next 2 minutes. Take time and be inspired. Take time, reflect on what we have shared. Share with me what you have learned, and let's pick up from there. Okay.